This guy, I don't know if he's a slot guy, but I was looking at his athletic testing. I mean, he ran like a 4.4. His 3-cone was like 6.6. I don't know much about Nico Collins. Can you tell me about him? Because he seems like a good athlete.
Yeah, so you're talking about the big receiver out of Michigan.
Out of Michigan, yes.
Yeah, so I didn't watch his 2020 film yet. I definitely watched him in 2019 when I saw that he was going to the Senior Bowl, and I was like, let me check him out. So I watched a few games, and it looked so-so. Yeah. But from what I've been told, and I watched him at the Senior Bowl. I thought at the Senior Bowl practice, he looked quicker. He looked like he was more of a vertical threat. He was using his speed a little bit more. And maybe it's because, well, we're just doing one-on-one. So one-on-ones, I can really showcase all my ability without having to think about what I'm doing or what the DB is doing in the game. So maybe his what we saw there from the Senior Bowl is his mind has to catch up with his physical capabilities, because in one-on-one looks sweet, does everything you want to see. In team, at least for Michigan, in the games I watched, it looked like he was thinking a little too much. And I saw him. I mean, I saw a little tiny corner, wasn't last name Hicks or something like that, from I was watching, I think, Wisconsin. I always get Wisconsin and Nebraska confused, but it was one of those teams. Yeah. And I mean, just letting this little guy kind of lock him up. And I'm like, I don't necessarily care to see that. I want to see you look more physically opposing, especially when you have the bigger build. And I didn't quite see it there, but I did see some of that at the Senior Bowl, so that was encouraging.
Yeah. The reason I look at him is he seems like, well, I looked at his NFL draft profile that compared him to N'Keal Harry, which is funny because you and I argued a lot about him, and you were right and I was wrong. But I think the Niners liked N'Keal Harry from what I heard. They liked him, and they were actually considering taking him. If this guy's like him, I mean, Jawan Jennings is kind of like that too. Big guy who doesn't create a lot of separation, but is a contested catch guy. I mean, that's kind of Bourne, although Bourne can get open, to give Bourne credit. So is Nico Collins in that Jawan Jennings mold? I mean, but why would you take that guy second round if you can't get open?
I would have a tough time taking it and like valuing that in, that high and we'll get into some mid-round guys, but there's a couple mid-round guys I would like that give me that big catch ability, but also can work more to create separation underneath.
Okay, let me ask you one more guy, and then you can tell me who you think they'll take. This is courtesy of Mr. Roscoe's. He's always telling me about the USC players. He's like, man, you got to check out this guy every year. So he says, I don't know how to pronounce it. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
He's a slot guy. What do you think of him? Mr. Rocco says he's good. Okay.
Yeah. No. I like him. I think he plays with that physical style that Kyle Shanahan would like. I think he has enough ability to win on the outside to where he's kind of more of a versatile piece that the 49ers would probably like. I think ideally his fit is in the slot, but his dad was like a Mr. Olympian or something like that.
Oh wow.
And he's the brother of St. Brown. Yeah,
nice.
Packers. So he's not as tall as his brother, but has that good bloodline. Didn't run as fast as his brother, but I think he definitely plays with enough craftiness and stuff like that. I would compare him to like Jeremy Curley, like that.
I like Jeremy Curley. I always thought he was
probably a little bit more of a physical presence to him. But and I was on the Jets with Jeremy Curley, so I know Jeremy Curley was solid. He had that ability. He was probably ideally more of a slot, but could play on the outside.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
he was the Niners' best receiver one year, 2016.
He was
definitely their
and
best
I don't know
receiver.
if that says more about him or what the 49ers were at that time.
True. But he played well that year. Give him credit.
He did, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so it seems to me that St. Brown could be a guy you get round 3, round 4. And I don't know about you, but that's a little bit more like palatable for me. If they go wide receiver round 2 for like the 4th year in a row or whatever, I don't know. I think the Niners have bigger needs at corner. But if they get Rondale Moore, I could probably get with it. He seems pretty good. But
I like the thoughts of him. And as somebody that can do returns and stuff. Rondale Moore, though, like the one thing, and maybe he fits in with the 49ers with this, he has dealt with some injuries. Now, I don't know. I evaluate just the film, but I know there is some injury history to him as well.
And that's something the Niners need to take into account because it's something like they've been ignoring for 4 years and it's gotten them in trouble. So that's one organization that needs to think about that.